Did you go to school, young fella? Did you ever study history?
I have all this stuff I want to do, and I don't have.
They threw it at you. It's not all fun and games, you know. I found out the personal way about history by having lived through it.
There's so many things. I got like a laundry list of.
Yeah, you see, I was sitting there at the tender age of 14 on the front porch of my family and ancestral double wide, and I'm not bragging about this. I haven't even started bragging about my double wide because one entire wing of that thing is stuffed completely full of porcelain Miss Piggy dolls new in the box. That's worth a lot of money. You can look it up on the internet, Google YouTube thing. eBay, new in box porcelain Miss Piggy doll. I know you want one. I can see you're trying to use me to get to my porcelain Miss Piggy dolls because you only wish you had a collection like that, right? So I was sitting there on the front porch of my family and ancestral double wide, minding my own business, sipping on a mint julep, admiring a young lady named Jemima as she pulled a cherry pie out of the oven or picked some cotton, when some feller came up and slapped the draft notice down on me, and here I am at the tender age of 14 years old. He says, "You're going off to war, cowboy." And I said, "Well, see, I'm a lover, not a fighter, miss. I didn't want no participle of that war. They took me." Next thing I know, I'm crossing sabers with the boy General Custer. You know, that fellow with the ridiculous long blonde hair and the outrageously curly and stupid-looking, I might say, Goldilocks whiskers. Where did he ever get an idea for such a nut job set of whiskers like that? I mean, I know what my inspiration is, naturally. I'm doing it to get chicks. Well, duh. You know, I'm a guy. That's why we do stuff, you know? There's somebody that knows the fundamental male nature. And I heard there was this fella named Colonel Sanders. He got millions of chicks, more than Hugh Hefner ever dreamed about in his Fern Grotto. And if you all hang out long enough for my 13th HBO special, we're all going to go in the limos together, hang with Hef in the Fern Grotto and the Playmates. Would that ever be a wrong thing? How about a round of applause for hanging out in the Fern Grotto? Does anybody know what the Fern Grotto is? Come on. Woo! We have a doctor in the house. He knows what the Fern Grotto is. He probably knows Hugh Hefner personally and has partied with him. I don't doubt it. Like I was saying, I was sitting there on the front porch of my family and ancestral double wide when they drafted me. Am I talking too fast for you, young lady? That's intentional fast talk. Can anyone talk this fast in the world? I couldn't do that if I tried.
That's why we're filming it. We're going to play it back in slow-mo.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. I was sitting on the front porch of my family and ancestral double wide, drafted. Next thing you know, Lee is surrendering in Appomattox Courthouse. But I was in no mood. That's why I fled west. That's why I have a cowboy named Mama from south of the border. Yeah, see, I was in no mood to surrender after the Yankees had burnt my family and ancestral double wide to the ground. Remember that part of history, ma'am? Yeah, we were able to claim the Yankees did it on insurance and get almost all the money back. We do that every couple of years, and the thing burns and falls into the swamp. Now I'm bragging because the ancestral double wide is perched romantically on the edge of a swamp. Does that excite you, miss? maybe just a little bit. It should. I am bragging just a little bit because it actually ain't my family and ancestral double wide, but I do stand to inherit that and those porcelain Miss Piggy dolls. Oh, yeah. Come on out to my place. There's plenty of room in the couch for all of us. Assuming Big Mama's not there watching TV, you know. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it fell into the swamp, but we're not so foolish to perch our double wide on the edge of a swamp. Duh. Hello. What do you think? I got no brains. We put it on some nice piece of high ground, you know. But God had other plans between his tornadoes and floods, and next thing you know, we're perched romantically on the edge of a swamp. But the good news is, I've got my swamp buggy parked right outside. Now I am bragging because I own that one outright. The bank wouldn't loan on that. They would. They loaned on my John boat, but they wouldn't loan on my swamp buggy for some reason. 454 Chevy, big fan, baby. Really romantic on them moonlit nights through the swamp.
That's what Robert E. Lee needed.
Yeah. So while they burnt the family ancestral double wide, speaking of Robert E. Lee surrendering to Appomattox, one of them Yankees also ran away with Jemima, who was the love of my young life. Oh, yeah. She later, what really made me mad is that she later went on to pancake fame, made millions and millions of dollars, you know, and I had, anyway, that's a different story. That's why I came west. Good job, on-the-job training for my stagecoach robbery career, you know, joining the James gang. All right, enough about history. Questions from the floor, students of history or anything else? No, we're going to remain silent. You don't need to worry, folks. I don't bite hard, because if I did, my dentures would fall right out on the floor.
I got a question.
I do nibble, though. Yes, my lady.
What's the meaning of life?
Oh, that's a big one. I was hoping you would ask something simple like, Cowboy, why do you wear a cape? Well, you know, why not? I told you in the Cowboys Church of Heavenly Angels Miss there are no fashion arrests.
Why
Did I
do you
mention
wear a
that?
cape?
Oh yeah.
We know why you wear a cape.
Why do I wear a cape?
Because you want to be seen.
Want to be seen. Would that be so wrong, miss? Would that be so wrong? Not in the Cowboy Church of them Heavenly Angels where snow dances are performed as a holy sacrament. But you know, the snow finally did come. God was happy with the Cowboys Church of them Heavenly Angels. And I do want to say, some of you are locals, not all angels have them shaggy boots or spandex. Some of them wear skis and snowboards and rip the mountain. Some of them in here right now. Oh yeah. Cowboys Church of Heavenly Angels. It did get me thinking the snow gods were pleased. You know, naturally the snow came. The cowboy was happy, thus proving the scientological basis. The Cowboy Scientology Church of them Heavenly Angels. I establish a snow church praying for snow with snow dances. Snow comes, scientific, proof incarnate, which is good because I was getting ready to incorporate the phase of the human sacrifice of the Cowboys Church of Heavenly Angels. I was drawing up the committee. Naturally, we would throw in the heretics first. I mean, you know, duh, like any religion. Of course, we're going to throw the heretics into the volcano. Then now again, scientologically based, we'd have a fellow in a lab coat ticking off the number of people that go in the volcano, and a meteorologist standing there with his arms crossed saying, "Show us the beef, Mother Nature!" So continue your sacrifices, like I said, so I can keep the Heavenly Angels' wings flapping so they can lift me up for divine inspiration. But why am I talking about the Cowboys Church of Heavenly Angels? And here's why, because the snow gods were pleased, as you all saw. Woo! But, you know, I think we're all from around these parts. We know our history again. I walked down history lane. See, it got me started thinking of the other gnarly aspects of the Cowboy Church. What if the snow gods provide and prove to be too bountiful? What do we do then?
Oh, they were in trouble.
We have to invoke the phase of the religion called the Donner Party Pass clause of the Cowboys Church of Heavenly Angels, but believe me, it's not as gnarly as human sacrifice. It's a lot more fun than that. We get snowed in, we put whipped cream on one another's body parts, and well, you know, or whatever other condiments. That's a big word. You can look it up now.
No, more like
in the wallet. I'm
more
sorry.
like A1 sauce.
A1 sauce is never going to be a wrong thing in the Cowboys Church of 18 of Heavenly Angels. That was one in Paris in 1872. There will be a test question on that later. All right, here's a test question for you, young lady. What is the Donner Party Pass, and what favorite sauce would you like to put in where? That might be a little bit personal. Chocolate. Chocolate is never going to be a crime in the Cowboys Church of Heavenly Angels. In fact, let's make it dark chocolate as a holy sacrament. Yeah, there's a lot of other. So I got a job recently. Naturally, I'm a cowboy, and it's like I told you, the stagecoach robbery thing wasn't going to work out. My mama, she said I couldn't be a cowboy, but I said, "Well, Mama, then I want to be in show business." She said, "Well, you can't do that." And I said, "Well, why not?" Because I wanted to join the circus. She said, "You ain't got no talent." You know, I'm a little boy. Naturally, I took umbrage at that. I developed my own act. Started slapping hair tonic on my back. And I was going to be the blonde buffalo boy of the Barnum and Bailey Circus. Woo! Anybody see that documentary, The Elephant Man? I'm not an animal, I'm a man. Well, see, my act was going to be like that, grunting and snorting out on the stage like some kind of buffalo with my hairy back hairs bristling like a... I was going to stand up and say, "I ain't no buffalo. I'm a man, ladies." Woo! Yeah, just like that. And you know what they said to me when I did? They said, "You ain't got no talent." And Mama said that too. Now that didn't surprise me. She wasn't. I got back at her though. I got back at my mom. She wrote a song about me when I said I wanted to be a cowboy. And I sold it to Willie Nelson for $1, and now she's living in a double wide down in Mississippi. Yeah. Mama is, and Willie Nelson's living in a castle. It's like, cowboys don't let your mama, no baby, mamas don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys.
It's no, you got the wrong song.
Oh no.
It's Kid Rock. I want to be a cowboy, baby.
And you can be my cowgirl. No, Kid Rock didn't do that one. I want to be a cowboy. Does anybody even remember that song? This is dredging deep back into the files. But I have a long memory. Oh yes, I've been alive forever. I wrote the very first song.
Kid Rock.
I put the words and the melodies together. I am music, and I'm a cowboy too. I write the songs that make the whole world sing. Yeah, like that. You know, a song like that, while artistically beautiful, however, would never be worth a plug nickel. Not a dime, you know? Not unless you got somebody really popular like Lady Goo Goo Gaga in the moment who could make it popular for it. And I figured a song like that would need to be sung by somebody very macho. But, you know, Johnny Cash has gone to his reward. Michael Jackson's gone. Liberace, he's gone too. Who could pull it off? I did an internet googlytube.com search for somebody manly enough to sing that song and carry it off for me. I found a guy so macho, he's even got the word man in his name. Barry Manilow. Oh, where's the Copacabana? Yeah, that guy. The hottest spot north of Havana. Yeah, that B is a V. Go to school, Barbie. All right, you know, get some intelligence. Maybe a little bit of education. To make your life just a little bit easier. But ignorance can be bliss. Anyway, I think that Barry Manilow could pull off that song, you know, but again, he'd want to swap out the pink feather boa for a black one. Might be just a suggestion. I told you all that I had eaten that Mexican from the meal from that saloon girl, which I never should have done. My mama would have warned me against that very thing, but oh no. Naturally, I have to defy mom. Hanging out with the saloon girl, and she gives me the burning ring of fire from that Mexican meal, you know, and that was not good. And then from that experience, I had to go to the doctor, but not before I kicked the cat on the way out the door. I was so mad about it, and I mentioned this earlier. I got what they call the cat scratch fever at the same visits, 2 for 1. You know? I went to the doctor about that, and that's a whole different story. But we're a small audience now that we've got Obamacare. You're only 2 clicks away from this medical information anyway, so it's really no worries. I can share this with you. He says, well, Cowboy, Christmas just happened. Did you take care of anybody in your life, miss, for Christmas? Because you know what you give a fellow that's got pretty much everything, and this is what the doctor told me. A couple of shots of penicillin right here. That'll clear it up most every time it's tried. I was going to write a song about my experiences. I was going to call it, it's going to go like, I got the burning ring of fire, burning ring of fire, I don't know, would that be a good song? Or I was going to write something like, about that cat, because you know, that really got to me. That cat bit me right on the calf when I kicked him, because he deserved it, because his mama gave me the burning ring of fire. And it burns, 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 the ring of fire, the ring of fire. The ring of fire. Love is a burning thing. Love. I didn't even like that Mexican meal. I did not even. The salsa was pretty good, though.
Is that chicken part of it?
This is my esteemed colleague and Hollywood movie actor, Rooster Cockburn. Burning ring of fire. He got that burning cockburn. Haven't you been to the movies, ma'am? True Grit. That's what's in the bottom of a canteen, anyway. He's also a cockfighter. This is not just any chicken, y'all. This is a rooster. Hello. There is a small difference. Let me just make it clear to you, if you go to the grocery store, well, miss, there ain't going to be boneless, skinless rooster pectoral under that saran wrap. No, ma'am, it's going to be a hen's pectoral, and there's dang good reasons for that. Nobody wants to eat a rooster's pectoral. It's all sinuous, dried up, tough. Whereas a hen's pectoral is just that much more succulent, juicy, and just downright good. Plump. Did I say that too? And right good with teriyaki sauce and barbecue sauce. Although I do like my boneless, skinless hen pectorals, sometimes with skin on them, and what am I talking about? And a nice tall warm glass of milk. Some people have not been to a farm and they don't know the difference between a rooster and a hen, and let me give you, now nothing goes to waste in the high country, we know that. Once, one of my previous Rooster Cockburn the first, who starred alongside of John Wayne in that history documentary, True Grit, hello, you might want to study your history. The documentaries about the Old West, like True Grit. Anyway, I had to eat his grandfather. He died in the cockfights, and I gave him a proper Viking funeral. I put him on the Barbie, you know. Would that ever be a wrong thing to put some chicken on the Barbie, miss? Unless you're one of those vegetarians. That's a big word, you might want to look it up, all right, darling? Get a little schooling. Yeah, I put him on the barbecue, and he was burnt, and I ate part of him. I threw him in the fridge. Next morning, I got up opened up the fridge, and look, of course, there's not much in a cowboy's refrigerator, right, cowboy? He's got the cowboy vest, he knows. Ketchup, beer, and sometimes some whipped cream, right? Oh, yeah. Now that, otherwise, the night before, indifferent rooster pectoral. The leftovers, the morning, I put some of that whipped cream on that burnt rooster's pectoral, and it became downright tasty, leaving me only to wonder how a hen's pectoral doused in whipped cream would be, you know. Well, anyway, any of you fellers tried that? Because I... No. All right. That does remind me, however, of the what is it, the Donner Party Pass function of the Cowboys Church of them Heavenly Angels.
Yeah, they needed whipped cream.
They did. Well, that's what we talked about, the human sacrifices involved with the volcanoes, but and chucking people in and pleasing the snow gods. But did we actually address the Donner Party Pass exemption? I'm not sure we did. That's the function, and it's not as bad as human sacrifice in a volcano. Don't worry, missus. If you get snowed into the cabin, you just apply whipped cream or whatever sauces are best on whoever that you might want to do that with. That would be a holy sacrament in the Cowboys Church of Heavenly Angels if you're having too much snow. You could try it at that time. Put a big, yeah, he said 14-inch rooster, miss. Yeah, cock-a-doodle-doo, baby. Rise and shine. Woo!
If you're a cockfighter, the cock lost.
He's head down in the gutter right now. But that's not too different. Is the band leaving now? Elvis has left the building. No, Elvis and Elvin and Elvira.
It takes time.
Elvira. Do-do-do. Elvira. Are there any song requests from the audience? I won't do them.
Choco now. Choco.
Yeah.
Choco now.
Elvira. Elvira.
Yeah, we got a trio going now.
My heart's on fire for Elvira. Boom, boom. Giddy up, ba-doom, boom, ba-doom, boom, ba-oh, boom. Giddy up, ba-doom, boom, ba-bow, boom, ba-doom, boom. Wow, silver. That's my country voice. And away. How about the lion sleeps tonight? One away. Hey, how come I didn't singing like that? I should take these earplugs out of my ears. Where did I get that crazy idea to put earplugs in? Well, I believe I am about to lose my audience, and they need to put away this mic. Are there any questions from the audience? Any history test? In what year did A1 sauce get invented? 1872, Blue Ribbon in Paris. That's not an important test question. A1 sauce. One of the audience members said they wanted to put some A1 sauce on me if we ever had to invoke that function of the church, you know, the Donner Pass party function. You know, I was thinking more along the lines of whipped cream, but you know, because it worked so well for my buddy Rooster Cockburn. I mean, that dried up rooster's pectoral. It was just the ticket. All right. Well, you all, good night, and thank you, Miss Margaret, for your kindly hospitality.
Thank you so much, Ted. You had some followers
Stalkers,
in
too.
the Donner Party.
I have some stalkers, too. You know, I ever tell you about my 13th wife?